Welcome to Lecture 9. This week we're discussing the courtroom work group. Our trial process in the United States is founded on the idea of an adversarial system, with a defense attorney and a prosecutor both battling each other in the courtroom in front of a jury to convince the jury of their own version of the truth, and this whole process is mediated by a judge. That's the system most people think of when they think of the courts, and that's how the system was originally designed. The reality, however, of the real criminal courtroom is cooperation rather than adversarial. The judge, prosecutor, defense attorney, court clerk, and bailiff, that's the courtroom work group, tend to cooperate to quickly and efficiently process cases, usually through negotiated pleas of guilt. 90% of cases in the criminal justice system are processed by a plea agreement, not by going to trial. It's 90% of cases the defendant pleads guilty. So this spirit of cooperation develops for several reasons. First, there's a high volume of cases that need to be processed through the courts every day. It's a very eye-opening experience. If you've never been in a criminal courtroom during arraignments and initial hearings, you need to go sometime. Just go to the common pleas court or to the municipal court and see how many people are being processed through the courts on any given day. Next is face-to-face contact every day between the members of the courtroom work group develops and fosters friendships and cooperation. They have to deal with the same prosecutors, the same judge, and the same defense attorney over and over and over again in the same courtroom day after day. They get to know each other. They get to like each other. Sometimes they even date and marry each other. So these relationships end up developing into a spirit of cooperation. And then lastly, experiencing the fact that many crimes are, quote, routine, meaning that very similar circumstances from one DUI to the next DUI or one bar brawl to the next bar brawl. And then the members of the courtroom work group then, with that perspective, try to give similar cases, similar outcomes. In other words, similar sentences. So this week's readings focus on the three most important parts of the courtroom work group: the judge, the prosecutor, and the defense attorney. The readings will give you an accurate view of the real operations of the criminal courts. It's not about trials. It's about plea bargains for the most part. Pay attention to these experiences and how the work group members exercise their discretion with the clients and with the cooperation with each other. So the first two readings for this week are going to be chapters from the book Felony Justice, an Organizational Analysis of the Criminal Courts by James Eisenstein, there at the top picture, and Herbert Jacob, the bottom picture. Eisenstein is a sociologist from Penn State University, and Herbert Jacob, at the bottom, is a law professor from Northwestern University. I believe both of which are deceased right now. So the first chapter to read will discuss what the courtroom work group is, what it's made up of, what members, and how they get to interact with each other. And then the second chapter, the ecology of the courtroom work group, talks about the environment in which they work and how that environment influences their cooperation and how they come to make decisions. The third reading is a chapter from the book District Attorney, Prosecutors in Their Own Words by Mark Baker. This is Mark Baker on the left. Mark Baker is an investigative journalist. He came back from the Vietnam War, went to college and completed his degree in journalism, and then wrote his first book, NAM, N-A-M, about the Vietnam War, and it was a collection of interviews of Vietnam veterans about their experiences in Vietnam. That was a very successful book and a bestseller. And he followed that up with a book called Cops, where he interviewed hundreds of police officers around the country about their life experiences as police officers. And then his third book is this one on prosecutors. So this reading is just a collection of stories of the lives of prosecutors in courts big and small from all across the country to give you a really good perspective on what it is prosecutors do in their jobs. And the last reading for this week is But How Can You Sleep Nights, a chapter by Lisa McIntyre. And this deals with public defenders, so defense attorneys, specifically defense attorneys who handle only criminal cases and defend some of the worst criminals there are. And it gives you a perspective of why do they do what they do, what are their life experiences with people in the public and clients, and just to get a really good view of what their life experiences are like in this field. So don't forget to complete quiz number 9, and if you have any questions, please email me. Thank you.